I'm going to make a salad, but it's got harissa and courgettes and fennel and lentils, garlicky, zesty. No salad should be boring, and like this has got it happening on all the levels. So I'm going to use that rose harissa just because this is probably not bad ingredients considering as harissas go. So first of all, I got 3 cloves of garlic, and I'm just going to kind of slice them up, and then I'm going to fry them with the harissa to make kind of the dressing with some olive oil. Okay. So with garlic, when you're frying it, it does not need long at all. Like as soon as it browns, the taste goes bitter. You want to make sure it's just like fried a little bit. I'm going to do a big glug of oil because this is going to be the dressing for the salad as well. And also I'm going to add some chili flake to this too. Because it's quite rich, this sauce. It's actually super easy, this dressing. It's just chili, rose harissa and garlic. And once the garlic's kind of infused, then we have our dressing. Once the garlic goes a little bit soft, that's when I'm going to add the chili flakes in. So like a teaspoon. And then once this is cooked, then I'll turn it off and I'll add the rose harissa. So I'm going to get a little bowl. And probably, so yeah, I'd put like, oh shit, a big tablespoon of that in. And then what you're going to do is like add it with the oil. And that is your salad dressing. Simple as that. Make sure we get all the bits of garlic and oil. So simple. And then what we're going to do is leave that to sit while that cools down, and we're going to do the vegetables. So I've got 2 courgettes that are from the roof, which is amazing. And we want these to be quite fine. So not kind of, yeah, not too thick. So I always think so you want them about this thin actually, look, can you see? Mandolin, you should buy one of these. They're quite cheap and they get everything kind of the same size. I think this is kind of a trick. Well, it's not a trick, it's kind of a really good tip to have in the kitchen. When I think about these courgettes, I think about how they came from seed and went from the dark and then kind of blossomed into a shoot and then a plant, and then, you know, then it becomes this, which is amazing. And it just reminds me of like life can start again. At all times, you've just got to plant seeds. And a big thing is like what I get asked a lot about is like starting your life again in your like mid-30s after going through a divorce and everyone's having children around you, and then you find the courage to leave a relationship that is not working. And it's not because you don't love each other, it's just you've outgrown each other, and it happens, you know. Like I was married for 10 years. We finished when I was like 31, and I think that's where we started separating. And I think that's the time where, yeah, most people are having children, you know, buying houses, and I just knew something wasn't right. And some people stay in that, and I get it, but I just couldn't, you know, I couldn't stay in something. And I knew that I had to figure out who I was as a woman without being in a relationship, you know, like, because I was from so young, I think it was like 19 to 30 or something. So them transformative years in some way. And I think there's this thing in this society, it's like the path, it's like you marry, you have kids, you have a house, and then you work hard and then you retire. And it's like, that just is not what I wanted, you know, like I just because I had decided something when I was younger doesn't mean that has to like make my path. So I left, and it was really hard, and obviously found the boat and rebuilt my life. And I was chatting to a friend the other day of like how much my life has transformed since I left my marriage. Like I put all my dreams on the back burner. Like I was last on the list, right? It was like, what do they need? What can I do? Do all the bits. And it was easier. It was so much easier to focus on them and our problems in the relationship than focus on my dreams and what actually I wanted. Because if I'm being totally honest, I was scared that I actually could create my dreams, scared that I deserved more, scared that, like just scared, basically so much fear. And like from the outside, the relationship, you got to be really careful with these things. You slice your finger, you fucked. From the outside, it looked like everything was great, you know, like nice, attentive husband. Okay, he was from Colombia. We had a lot of differences in many ways, but we also created our own world. And, you know, it was easy to focus on his depression and stuff. And then when I left, it was like there was nowhere to hide anymore. And I managed to save enough money for my home. I wrote a book. I put on events. I traveled. I made new friends. Like my whole life is so different. And it's like I could never have imagined my life would have looked like this years ago. But I also think because I just thought you get married and that's it, then that's that. But it's not. And this isn't saying like all marriages are like whatever, you know, we have to, I think in relationships, we have to make it work for us, you know, what works for us. And with the right partner, you can make your dreams happen and you can do all of the bits. But for me, I was definitely hiding fast and furious. And yeah, I had to find the courage. And even dating again has been like absolutely mental, you know, after you leave and you get divorced, it's like, Jesus, how do you even do this? How do you go back out there? And you do. And like, I know myself so much better now than I ever did. And choosing a partner is like, you know, my partner now it meets me on so many levels that I need to be met now that my ex didn't, because I was so young, you know. And I think a lot of people get scared to start again. But like, let me tell you, it's actually like a really beautiful journey of self-discovery. And we're always starting again. And I think there's different points in our lives, like maybe our children grow up and they leave home. Maybe we lose a job that we've been in for years. Maybe we decide to leave a marriage. Maybe all of these things, it's starting again. And I think it's just making sure that we keep that fire within to do it, you know, to really keep looking at life and being like, is this what I want? Is this the life I want? Sometimes I think we have these voices in our heads, I know I did, where I just tried to quiet it. Quiet it? Is that even a word? Like numb it, suppress it, but it was there. And it was like not even there about the, oh fucking hell, about the ending or whatever of the relationship, more of what I want and what I deserve and what I need. And yeah, like listen to them voices. Like obviously make your fucking relationship work. I've done everything I could to make it work, like everything. But then it got to the point where I didn't. And I was like, we can't do any more. And you know, you have to have that hard conversation. But don't stay in something just because all your friends are and everyone around you is like, yeah, like life is fucking great. And I've just gone on a massive tangent as I'm like grating the vegetables, but here we go. This is what it's like being in the kitchen with me. I hear so many people starting their lives again and doing it in ways and finding themselves. And sometimes you don't have to leave a marriage to do it. Sometimes you can just find the courage of being like, do you know what? Like, I have this dream and I'm gonna run with it. Like, oh my God, I didn't even really like finish school properly and I wrote a fucking book. Like, imagine, like, there's so many possibilities. You've just got to find that tiny bit of fire that's inside of you. And once you connect with it, it doesn't go away. And then you realise, and then you're just like, wow, I'm capable of so much and I had no idea. So we got like the fennel shaved. I'm just going more and more with this. I mean, you could add all kinds of things in this. You could add kohlrabi. I don't have any of that. You could have cucumber, but I would say not so much leafy greens, just because the textures, the thing is with greens like spinach and kale and all the things, they're great. I mean, you could dress it and rock it afterwards, but this is slightly a warm because I'm gonna like just ever so slightly pan fry them to just take the edge off of them, so it's like a warm salad. But if you're using greens, they're quite wet and then you end up with like a sloppy salad. Ugh, gross. And also I'm gonna put some lentils in. So in this pan, honestly, this is nearly done. Imagine, it's so fucking quick. So quick while I just debunk relationships and all of the bits. Also, back on the tangent, I think like for me, when I decided like I'm gonna be single, I'm gonna be out there, I was like, I met so many new friends, like female friends that were just going through the same journey and like, you know, bossing life and, you know, finding their way. And it was so comforting and great and inspiring. And I just, honestly, it was like I had another chance at starting life again on some level. And for me, this is only my story. I'm just happy that I left that and I don't have to deal with that anymore. And I will never do that or allow myself to be in that, something like that, ever again. So, yeah. And this isn't, oh, all men are bad, because I'm not at all. I fucking love men and I think they're great. And I think we need to big up men more, to be honest. And we all need to do the work. This isn't like the men are the problem. I'm a fucking bitch too, like I know that. But it's being in a relationship where you both are honest and accountable with what you're bringing. And you're both following your dreams and you're both making your passions, you know? Right, so now I'm gonna throw this in here and just very softly, like for a couple of minutes only, just like fry this. So I've just warmed the lentils. I didn't even tell you that, I was too engaged in my conversation. But I'm just warming them lentils. I love these packet lentils just because it's not a sponsored post, but I do just love them because they're just easy. You just put them in, pinch of salt, game on. Actually, pinch of salt in all of it, totally forgot that. Salt in this, salt in this, salt in this. I'm also going to squeeze some lemon juice in this as well, just to like get it even more going. Also, back to the tangent, maybe what I realised, because I think through fairy tales and all this shit, that like meeting a man and that being the answer to all your problems. I got married when I was like coming out of like a fucking drug problem. Like maybe not the best time to meet someone, and on some level a great time. That like actually the hero isn't someone else, the hero is me. And like I guess that's been my journey in my 30s, now in my mid-30s, going upwards of like, yeah, like I am the hero in my own journey. And as cheesy as that sounds, it's like making it happen for me, all of it. And yeah, like I'm the hero, I'm the anchor, I'm all of it. That doesn't mean I don't need people at all. It just means that when I meet people, not even in a relationship, friendship, we just meet in the middle, you know? And that's like the beautiful thing of connection. So a little bit of olive oil. So once kind of the courgette goes slightly, like see-through, and by see-through I mean, can you see where the oils hit that and it's a little bit lighter? Like that, so we just got to wait a little bit. Got some mint from the garden. So I'm just going to chop like a few leaves up just to give it kind of some freshness. The thing about this salad, it's quite a different salad, you know, because I like doing salads where people are like, oh my God, this is different, or this is like the flavours are just not what you expected. Like obviously love a simple garden salad, but I mean, we've all eaten enough of them. If you don't like fennel or courgettes, I mean, the courgette's kind of a staple, you kind of have to use the courgette. But if you don't like fennel, because for some people, it's quite a strong taste. However, I still feel like you should try it because shaved fennel finely, slightly fried, absolutely changes the whole game. I fucking hated fennel back in the day. I was like, ugh. Whereas now I'm like chomping on this stuff all the time. Shaved fennel, when it's like really thin, is just not overpowering in the palate. You could use kohlrabi. Do you know that vegetable? It looks like, it's kind of like a vegetable of the apple. That's a good one to do it with. So what I'm gonna do now is go in and just take a little bit of this sauce and just mix it up just so like all of it gets combined. And then I'm gonna do big chunks of that on top. So how I'm laying it out here is I'll just kind of lay it all together like so. Add the mint, some mint in. I'll add a little bit more on top. And then we do a handful of lentils. Oh my God. And the lentils just give it like an extra texture, because the thing about like making a not a boring salad, an epic salad, is all in the textures, all in the components. And I think sometimes it can look like you need to do a lot of bits to it. But you don't. You literally, like, this took like 10 minutes. You've got a banging salad that's super different and versatile. So we do this, and then we do blobs of this. And this is where it comes and looks really beautiful. And you want to make sure you got the garlic in there. And then when people eat it, they'll get like a big hit of harissa. But I just think when you do it like this, it just looks so beautiful. I'm calling this my starting again salad, that we can reinvent a vegetable as we can reinvent our life at any time with a little bit of fire. I mean, hello. Is that not the most beautiful salad you've ever seen? It's like organised chaos, which is a reflection of my life, but somehow comes together and is fucking epic. Dun, dun, dun. I also don't really eat that much pasta, so like this kind of thing is a bit pasta-y. Oh my god. It's spicy. It's all the bits. Spicy, zesty, filling. Like, if I had this as a salad on its own, I'd be happy because I would be full. Like, I fucking hate getting a salad and it's like 2 pieces of tofu and a tomato. It's like, oh, what a fucking waste of money. So good. Give it a go. Start again in whatever way you form.